Hey everybody, how you doing today? So we know it's the key secret to all of this is obedience to the Creator. You know, just try to find the source of where it is at the origin, sort of like you might see through all the illusions again. You might go to the beginning of your pantheon, whatever your truth is, of course. But I'm saying, as for me and my house, we shall serve the Creator of heaven and earth. So that's really the end of the beginning. Essentially, if you know about the end, the beginning, the first being the last, last being the first, I mean, you'll kind of know what this is about. But alright, so the totality of, again, these four elements, we're looking at the water, we're looking at the fire, we're looking at the air, the earth. I mean, these are parts of your being, of course, but they're also parts of the nature. You see, you step your feet on the ground, you're stepping your feet on soil, solid ground, a solid rock. You breathe in the air again. You're also, thinking through the air. It's another way the mind is thinking up there. And then, you can also have it in the clouds, by the way. And then, also, you can walk in the sun. That's a little bit like a fire type situation. Also, people have pools and oceans for water, lakes, things like that. So parts of the nature are connected to your parts of the body. So if you're looking around at that, it's another thing to look at. But in a more spiritual, biblical sense, we also have to look at way of applying the word, the bread of God. So not even just what you see, but what you also speak is the word, is the living word, especially is what you speak, because you have a living soul of the Most High inside of you. So that's something to keep in mind. Everybody has that power, if you will. Everybody has this very, very power, but it's only what's in the mind that can control it. So again, if a being is in your mind, if you get him out, you notice you have more power. When I say the being, I mean Lucifer. If you knock him from heaven, of course, he'll turn into Sataniel. Then you have to knock Sataniel from heaven to earth. So it's one of those things where these are kind of like cycles. If you're willing to fight from within, find that righteousness, that stand with the Creator, but of heaven and earth. So again, we all have our different identities and paths, different walks. But, this is who I am through and through, in every world, every dimension. This is pretty much who I am. So, so that's life you live. But again, you're gonna notice some changes. It's essentially, again, your birthright to own certain places. It's your birthright. So don't give that away for anything. Because again, we've all been born for greatness. It's just finding out, who your Creator is. Because that's gonna answer a lot of questions. Like, who created me? Why did they create me? And then you have answers to that question, and then one day you just find out, hey, I'm sort of like my Creator, not my own Creator, but I'm like the person, the thing that created me, if not. Like earth, wind, and sky, like everywhere. I'm the person that created me. So it's not just to live to return to the dust. It's to do the will of the Creator. So that's what we're gonna call it now, because again, there's been a lot of blasphemies, a lot of names rewritten and unwritten, because the trick from the enemy, beginning to end, like he taking many forms, of a serpent, of a dragon, all this stuff, like being us, being not us. It's like it's inside, outside. So now it's outside. So if you defeat the enemy inside, you have a better chance to defeat the enemy outside. Surprisingly, you get to know, because he's outside of you. He's not really inside of you anymore. But he was in a lot of things. A lot of names again were false, but all I can really say is honor the Creator of heaven and earth. Top of your head to the sole of your feet. That's essentially what you should know. Some of you, again, will be a part of the creation of the new heaven and the new earth. It's basically a new you. That's what it is. That's what it means. Again, for every revelation, there's a new being that can be provided with that. A new person, a new man. That's all I can really say. You know, you don't have to be the most special, the most talented person. I think it just all goes down to who you think your creator is. So if you're able to answer that question, get to know more questions about what the all is like. So, you know, we've only been taking one part of who the creator is, but you know, once you understand every single part, every complexity, everything, you know, you might be able to unite the kingdoms. You know, that's what it's about. All the kingdoms getting united. So I'm being very vague, but my point is this: we all have a birthright. You know, there's a certain thing that we were told to follow from our birth. But you know, once you are able to follow that mission, I mean, everything kind of just falls in place after that. So yeah. So, but essentially, what this series is about, again, your mind is probably the most vulnerable, because if the enemy gets inside your mind, it can change your whole idea of yourself. It can change a lie to the truth to the lie. I mean, basically, once all of this is undone, once the good that became bad and the bad that became good, I mean, you can kind of see through it all. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, it's not about trusting yourself. It's about knowing who the self is, and then, you know, getting rid of the enemy inside, and then, you know, changing that outside a bit more. Because again, with the vagueness, I'm trying to say that everything still stands. Once you're able to see through it, you can still use and apply the tools, but now you have caution, because now you know that you know. Oh, you're like, oh, like, so it was a setup. Interesting. But it's not about what was changed. It's about, you know the enemy, and you know what you're going to do when you see the enemy, because everything that the enemy has taken, stolen, we're gonna say, yeah, the creator is going to have him give it back to you. All your gifts, all your talents that you might have had, and you know, he's gonna give it. The creator is gonna give it back to you, because the enemy, he stole it pretty much when you were in the womb. It was that simple. For the most part, I think we all have a truth, a part of our reality, but it blew me away. Really, it does, because it's something that if we see past that, we can change the world. You know, for the millions of people starving around the world, for the wars being fought, again, it's time for that to end. It's time for the famine, the sickness and the war to end, death to end. He's gonna wipe every tear from your eye, because I think it's all about understanding that the world can be changed, inside of us and outside of us. For the most part, again, great things are going to be happening soon. But again, for this series, I probably have to just do it every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So this is going to be part 2. Episode 3 is going to be on Tuesday, and then episode 4 on that following Thursday. But just to reiterate, like, the soul is so powerful. So is your spirit, but it's like, if the spirit that's behind the spirit controls that spirit, you know, with the stars, again, you won't have free reign, like you'll be puppeted. Because again, it's like every single thing. Let's say if you have a certain alignment, whatever, with the chart, whatever, that is going to decide sort of personalities, other types of your being with that spirit. So when we talk about the 36 spirits of Solomon, we're looking on that. I mean, just like you see this stuff, I mean, you can be free. You don't have to actually follow a certain path that you'll be given in the world. I mean, you can be who you are inside. That's going to be very important. That's the all right there. So just remember that thing, which you see we're talking about. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. I think it's all about knowing He's always there. Like, even when you make your bed in hell, it's like, hell's inside. So try your best, to live the life that the Creator wants you to have for your life. So you don't have to, the continuous cycles of this, falling down, getting up. You can do that. You can get back up and be forgiven. But I'm saying, some of you are kings and priests. I mean, some of you, I'm serious, right? Like right today, like we're sort of like in the second day for the resurrection, or maybe even the third day. But looking at the belly of the earth, sometimes you're just in your belly of your mind. You know what I'm saying? Of your being, of who you could be. But you don't have to be like him again. But some of you, you're like him automatically. Some of them, you wake up, you think like him, you walk like him, talk like him, but you can never really be him. I mean, imagine you're fasting for 40 days. I can barely fast for 40 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where, whoever he was, I mean, we're looking at what a human can be, but was he human? Was he not human? That's one thing. But what was he really? But he was definitely, you can say, anointed, because there is a power, in his name, his anointing. But we have to even look at the hidden names. I mean, really, Yeshua, Yahuwah. I mean, those were the way they would communicate in Hebrew, and also the Hebrew's original language. I mean, everything else you can say was added on, of course, Jesus. But we have to also look at, its original origins, because the origins of these names, there is a different connotation, because again, we even say Lord, I mean, out loud, of course, but it might send a different connotation out in the realm of spirit. So but once you're free, I mean it is what it is. So again, all right, everybody, I'll make another upload, probably just to finish the series. I'll make it tomorrow and then Saturday, but then the rest of the videos will be uploaded on that Thursday and Tuesday. All right, everybody, peace.